living in a retirement nightmare right now with so many people facing homelessness. You know, when I grew up, seeing your parents, and then for me, working decades, you think retirement is a time of peace and quiet. You're rewarded for all your hard work. And for so many, it has become a complete nightmare.
Nightmare on Elm Street, guys. This is happening all across the United States right now. If you guys have not noticed, the cost of living crisis is getting worse by the day. There are certain people that are waking up in a cold sweat. They can't take it. They can't handle it. There's a bill coming in. It feels like sometimes there's a bill every hour, nonstop. This used to happen to me. I noticed this years ago, by the way. I started to notice this maybe 3 years ago. And then maybe even 5 years ago. That's when I started to notice like all these companies would just continue to squeeze me, continue to squeeze me. There was nonstop bills. There were days where I couldn't even sleep, and I put on a lot of weight. I was stressed out. You know what I'm saying? This is becoming a complete nightmare. It's unsustainable. The plan is, okay, if you haven't noticed, the plan for the late stage capitalism is to squeeze every single dime out of you until you can't handle it, until you're on the streets. That's the whole plan of late stage capitalism, guys, if you don't know. And she's here to tell you that. And the other lady that I reacted to, please go subscribe to her channel, My Retired Path. I love, you know, watching content from all these older people. It seems to me there's a lot of older people that are putting out a lot of content, both men and women. And most of them are very lonely. Like this lady over here, she lives by herself. She's not married. She probably got kids, probably divorced. The other lady, same thing. She lives by herself. Most of the guys that I'm watching, I'll probably react to some guys' videos as well, some older guys. None of these people live with anybody else. They just live by themselves. And they're sounding the alarm to everybody that the way they're living is stressful. Some of us, because I'm 43, so that puts me at millennials. That makes me a millennial. But there are Gen Zers who are going through it too. Gen Zers have been going through this for like years now. And they've been sounding the alarm to everybody. But now, this older generation is starting to notice what we've been yelling about, what the Gen Z has been yelling about for many years. The older folks are starting to complain about it too, which is we're going through a late stage capitalism, and this thing, it doesn't care. It doesn't, listen, man, you're going to complain all you want. Nobody is listening. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Nobody's listening. You can cry all you want. In fact, if you can't pay your bills, you can't pay your rent, what's going to start to happen is people are going to stop taking your calls. You're going to be trying to calling your friends and everything. Nobody's picking up. This is the season now where people are not picking up their phones because they know people are struggling. And they're probably struggling trying to keep their head above water because this thing is no joke. You have to look at this game like it's a different beast. You can't be looking at 2025, 2026 like it's 2024 because it's not. This is all new to everybody. There are two types of people. The majority that were not prepared for what's happening right now. And they're not prepared for what's coming in 2026 because this thing is, we're just in gear 1. Next year is going to be gear 2. By 2030, we're going to be gear 6 or 5. We're going to be gear 5. It's going to be full speed to the point where everything is a subscription. I wouldn't be surprised that if they're going to start charging you just to breathe. If you go to a certain area, there's a tax. You're going to be taxed just to get to a certain place. That's a tax. Already, just getting out of your apartment, you're spending something. Getting out of your house, you gotta spend something. It's unavoidable. It's coming. Oh, it's coming.
It's not like that anymore, unfortunately. There are so many people right now that are one rent, one medical bill, and one bad month of being homeless.
It's scary. This is one of the things I used to think about back in the day, before I made the adjustments that I've made. I used to think about this, and I'm a married man. I got 2 kids. I was thinking to myself, God forbid, any of us need to go to hospital for some emergency situation. I'm gonna be like crying. I'm gonna be going through it because the bills are gonna be insane. I went to Grady Hospital over there in Atlanta just for like, a visit. Then I went for, you know, a procedure. It wasn't even a crazy procedure. It was crazy. It was crazy how everything is designed to hit your pockets. Everything is designed to empty your pockets. Everything. You breathe, aspirin. It's like, what? Just getting an aspirin, it's like probably $100. Something crazy. It's insane.
Out on the streets. That's very sad. But that, unfortunately, is the reality that we are living in right now. I grew up believing that after working really hard for years, and everything would be fine. You're putting into your 401k.
First of all, we know that 401ks are a scam. If you don't understand that the 401k is a scam, then I don't know what to tell you. I just don't know what to tell you. You're focusing on the wrong thing. There are people that know how to navigate their 401k thing. All right, well and good. If you have your 401k right now, start looking to cash out. Even if you got the fees, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm not a financial advisor here, but I'm just telling you right now, you got to start moving quickly. As somebody who used to have a 401k, I cashed out all my 401k money. I cashed it out like 3 years ago. Then I bought land with that money because I knew this thing was coming. I bought land with the 401k. Yes, of course, I got charged a lot of fees. I had to pay a heavy tax just to withdraw from my 401k, but it was one of the best things I ever did. Getting out of the market before it's too late, before this crisis that we're going through, you know, hit critical, hit a critical point.
If you're fortunate enough to have a 401k, I worked for only one company that had a 401k, so I really didn't have a whole lot in a 401k. I was fortunate enough to
I worked for many companies that had a 401k. Many. It's all a scam.
have a pension, not a large one by any means, but I just saved for my retirement. That's what I had to do.
And the misconception is most people, when they save, it's all saving cash in the bank. Well, we know what's going to happen, right? Inflation is going to erode your purchasing power. The amount of money that you saved over the last, let's say, 10 years, maybe you saved 20,000 over the last 10 years, or even over the last 5 years. That 10,000 purchasing power by end of next year is going to be worth probably 8,000 or 7,000. The way this dollar is collapsing, the value of the money is collapsing. You're going to be crying one day, I'm telling you right now. You're going to be crying. You are better off investing all the cash that you have into assets. Whether it's buying Bitcoin, again, I'm not a financial advisor. Go find financial advisors that are focusing on how to invest your money here on YouTube, credible ones, because I'm not a financial advisor. But let me tell you what I do. I don't hold a lot of cash anymore because I'm in Africa right now, and I've been tracking all year the exchange rates of sending money from the United States to myself, because that's what I do. As soon as I pay myself, I send myself some money over here to Africa so I can pay my bills here in Africa. I've been tracking the exchange rate, and the dollar is losing its value on the global market exchange rate. So this is a big signal that I shouldn't be holding cash, because I'm seeing how people here are trying to get rid of their dollars because they understand all the things that I'm understanding. What I'm saying is that if you're holding on to cash right now, you're better off diversifying or purchasing assets with that cash. Again, go seek advice from a financial advisor. I'm just telling you what I'm doing. I'm not holding more than $1,000 in cash. I'm not. I'm not. Everything has to be in like either crypto, land, something, or even this business. As soon as I get some money, I'm panicking. I'm like, I don't need these dollars. I gotta buy something, crypto, anything, new equipment for my studio, something.
So that's what we're thinking, that everything was great. You know, a lot of people get that when you retire, people are taking all these beautiful vacations and they're walking through the sand on a beach with their margaritas.
Yeah, you still can't do that. You still can't do that. The way you do that is by managing your time, controlling your time. That's something I can do. Everything that you just described, I can do that because I control my time. But anybody that doesn't control their time, and all you're doing is you're focusing on earning the money to pay the bills, you can't live the life that you want. You got to change the way you think. You can't play this game. This game is rigged already. She's telling you, she's warning you that this game is rigged. Why are you still playing it? You got to play it differently.
For the most part, that's not, most people aren't doing that. Most people wish they could do that, but most people are not doing that. And so many people right now are having a hard time with the housing costs, the groceries, the insurance. We're being taxed to death. So you're gonna see people that are not always gonna tell you how bad they're struggling.
It's insane.
I get it. They're proud. I get that. They're embarrassed.
Not just embarrassed and proud. We're so disconnected. There's no sense of community anymore in the West. It's not just a US problem. It's a UK problem, Europe problem. We're so disconnected. There's no sense of community. You only realize what you're missing when you leave. Then you go to countries where there's still a sense of community, where people are still, living communal. That's the only time you realize what you're missing. Most people don't talk to each other like that. In the entire time that I lived in Atlanta, I lived in an apartment with my wife and 2 kids. In the entire time, I didn't know who my neighbors were. And I lived there for 8 years, full time, 8 years. Neighbors on my left, I didn't know who they were. Neighbors to my right, I didn't know who they were. I didn't know. And they didn't want to know me, I didn't want to know them. That's how the society is. So you don't get to share information of what's really happening out here. That's most people. If you're ready to escape, by the way, go subscribe to our channel, go watch our content, go watch all the content from old people when you got your spare time. You're going to really learn. You're going to get a lot of game. But if you're ready to escape this collapse and do things differently and think differently, invest in yourself, not in paying bills, schedule time. I'll put a link in the description of this video. Talk to you soon.